Welcome to The Editrix, the podcast where we talk about satire, writing, and niche stuff like jeggings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Editrix podcast. I'm Katy Maiolatesi, and I do social media for the Belladonna.
My name is Emily Kapp, and I am a managing editor for the Belladonna.
I am Laura Berlinsky-Schine, and I am also a managing editor for the Belladonna.
And we have a very, very, very special guest on the pod today. You know her, you love her. She is one cool lady. Emily Flake, welcome. It's great to have
Hello.
Emily.
It's great to be here. I feel like I've been hopelessly oversold.
Now,
I can do
Not
nothing
even
but
a little
disappoint.
bit.
can I say one thing about Emily is we have two on our team, and now we have Emily Flake here, and we know other Emilys, and we
course.
decided they're all funny.
But
We
there
love
can
her.
only be
lots of
two
Emilys.
present at a time.
Yeah,
Mm.
or else
So,
we die.
If there were three of us here, it would have been too much. I
Too
think
much
the
Emily
people
power.
listening in would have been laughing too hard.
Yeah.
And that's a risk. So because of that, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody, it's like a disclaimer. We can only have 10 Emily's at a time because
We do need a collective noun for a group of Emily's.
Ooh.
Emily.
Right.
That's a good
Yeah.
one, Laura.
Emily.
Yeah.
Emily.
I like Emily, I think.
Emily's good. There is a
Emily double
Facebook
I.
group
Yeah.
that I've got Emily Bressler on. It's called a group where we can all be Emily, and we're both in it. And it's just like
Oh.
everybody is an Emily or an M, and they just there's no rhyme or reason. People just post
Yeah.
kind of like dark secrets in there and like their troubles.
Really?
Yeah.
So should I
Ooh.
create like a fake persona, an
Yeah.
Emily, and get in there?
And then I'm gonna like make a disclaimer post. I'm like, folks, watch out for this one. She is a fake.
A false Emily.
She's here for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I
No,
actually did just notice that my name is the only one that does not end in Y on this podcast.
that's okay.
Aw.
Ooh.
It's not okay. We're gonna have to ask you to leave.
Yeah, I know, right?
Bye, Laura. This was a
Bye.
fun few minutes. Have a nice evening. Enjoy.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How did you get your start in satire slash cartooning? We all want to know.
Okay. So I started with cartooning. And my start in cartooning was with a strip that I had that ran in alt weeklies called Lulu 8 Ball. Now, for those of you who are young, which is like all of you,
Thank you.
alt weeklies where like basically every big city would have like its own free alternative like news weekly, and they were really the lifeblood of like cities, and I miss them like I miss a dead friend. But one of the great things about alt weeklies is they ran cartoons. So I started Lulu 8 Ball in the Baltimore City paper. I went to school in Baltimore. I was an intern there, and I had a relationship with them when I started, like when I got this little strip together about basically they had a page of cartoons. Somebody quit doing their cartoon, and they're like, we have a 3.5 by 4.5 inch hole. Do you want to fill it? And I'm like, there is nothing I like more than filling holes. So I
That's
started
right,
doing
baby.
Lulu for the Baltimore City paper in, I want to say, either 2000 or 2001. And I did it for about 16 years.
Wow.
Amazing. That's
And
awesome.
I I went to school for illustration, and that was sort of like my first my first track ambition at that point. And I had done like a lot of illustration work for the city paper and a couple other places, but like, there was always sort of a sideline of like, you know, I really found that I liked being able to use sort of my own ideas and write jokes and all this other stuff. And also, it was a much better way if I'm like, oh, I have something to pitch versus I'm just kind of like sitting around with my dick in my hand waiting for an assignment. Um, and also I was never going to set the world on fire as like an illustrator, like I'm okay. I'm not phenomenal. So having something else that I could kind of bring to the table was important. And then that something else kind of like slowly became the point of all of it. Um, so I did Lulu, and like some longer pieces for like alt weeklies and Time Out New York for a long time. And then I started pitching to the New Yorker in 2007, and I sold my first one to them in 2008. And then, I don't want to say the rest is history, because what is history really?
So true.
So that was like the cartooning piece of it. And then in terms of satire, I always also like wrote for, all these various publications. I mean, again, the Baltimore City paper was the home of some of my first like published writing. Um, and I liked doing a lot of different kinds of writing. But the first satire piece I ever pitched was to McSweeney's, and it was about the rapper T.I. And this was sometime pre-pandemic.
Got it.
Um,
Here, look this
and
up. We'll put it
yeah,
up. We'll put it up. We'll link to it.
thank you.
You're welcome. Of course.
Uh, but yeah, I mean the through line of almost everything I do is that it's like grounded in some kind of like joke craft or humor. And I say almost everything because I do write like personal essays and review, like other kind of like non-humorous stuff, but like my main grounding is in humor. Because
Sorry,
as we
Emma.
know, Emily's are hilarious.
They
Yes,
really
they
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask
That's
you
awesome.
quickly where you went to school?
Yeah, I went to the Maryland Institute College of Art in Baltimore,
That's
Maryland.
what I assumed. I went to Hopkins, so
Oh, nice. I delivered
yeah.
pizzas to Hopkins. Well, I don't know if the Remington Street Domino's was still around when you were in school, but that was the
I
one I worked
don't
for.
I was about
really
to ask you
remember
what
it,
pizza.
but Baltimore is a fun place.
I love Baltimore. I still love Baltimore with all my heart. Like, it is it really is its own place in a way that is rare.
But I want to go back to pizza for a sec because
Yeah, me too,
sometimes,
Yeah.
Katie.
okay,
Yeah.
great.
That's great.
Because sometimes I feel like a good old fashioned Domino's slice is
Mm,
so good.
yeah.
I have to say, I'm not a pizza snob. I kind of am, but I will say sometimes Domino's, I want to just get
Oh,
Domino's.
So
sometimes you need the
yeah.
Yes,
shittiest,
yes,
trashiest, like most corporate pizza.
yes,
Much to my embarrassment, and also because they're run by terrible people, I
yes.
am not above like a Papa John's. I really want to know how many of the people that I used to work like how many managers and my fellow drivers are dead because I'm thinking probably like most of
Oh,
them.
oh my
Um,
God.
yeah. Okay, I worked there for 18 months. I had five different managers, and one of them
Oh,
twice, Terry,
five.
who
Hurry.
like, yeah, Terry chewed snuff, so his teeth were always bleeding, and
Oh
Terry's
God.
dead for sure.
Terry is for sure dead. Terry absolutely
Uh,
had the store robbed at least once.
Wow.
He also smoked hella weed and absolutely did coke in the office. Like
Wow.
if Terry's alive, I will buy a hat and eat it. Um,
oh, side note, I just learned how to buy weed in Russian.
oh, God bless. How do you do
Oh,
it?
there you
I
go.
actually don't remember. I
Laura,
do
okay, if you don't
now.
want to share your
That's the
secrets,
most stoner set of sentences
I
I think
am
I've
not
ever
high right
heard.
now, for the record.
Uh-huh. Sure.
It
My
was great.
Chase Bank became a weed store. Like, I don't know
whoa,
what
180.
level of gentrification that
Can I
is.
Yeah.
ask a little bit about your process? Like, when you're illustrating, like, like do you tend to think of the illustration first, or do you like to think of the
Mm.
idea, or is it kind of different every time, or what is your typical process in developing ideas and kind of putting the humor, the written bit of, the caption with
Mhm.
the illustration?
So I always write first.
Yeah.
And to me, like the idea is kind of paramount. And I know a lot of people who draw first or like, doodle around until an idea comes up, but I've always been a write first person.
Nice.
So yeah, I start with just kind of like I try to keep like a running list of things that occur to me like throughout the week,
Hmm.
or just sort of like sometimes if I am kind of stuck for ideas, I'd sort of like go to a list of tropes as kind of a way in, like, all right, what can I
Hmm.
do with this? But yeah, I write and then I kind of figure out the drawing. Um, And I mean, I think for that reason, I have very few that are just like purely visual jokes. And I think there's a certain sort of like, like wizard level when people can like have like a really perfect like visual joke and you don't even need a caption. But yeah,
Mhm.
I unfortunately am like a wordy bitch. So, um,
I'm also
We
a
like
wordy bitch.
words. It's okay.
yeah,
We're all word
yeah. And
Yeah.
people.
there are plenty of
Yeah.
my cartoons, and I think this is a deficit where it's like, it's just two people talking. Like, literally it could be like anybody could have drawn this and it could be any people. It's not like, I mean, ideally the art supports and enhances the joke. It isn't just like,
Yeah.
here are
Yeah.
people that because you need somebody to be saying this shit.
Mhm.
But yeah, always trying to improve.
So I think something that bounces off of this is like, what do you do when you're stuck creatively?
Mm.
Um, so like, what do I do all the time, every day?
Or
Um,
Yeah.
like in a
Fair.
specific moment in
yeah.
general, or
Um, I do find it helpful again to kind of like, go back to the well in terms of like, okay, let's start with some tropes. Let's see if I can like
Mhm.
come up with a joke about like, a desert island or like, guru on a mountain or it's funny because I teach workshops and like I have a list of tropes and
Yeah.
William Tell is on there and nobody knows what the fuck William Tell
Oh,
is anymore.
da-na-na-na-na-na-na, that guy.
No,
the
the
apple
overture. Oh
guy.
yes,
Yeah,
the
and
apple
I do,
guy, the
I do.
apple.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love him. He's
Yeah.
my guy. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
but like I just get like a lot of like, what is William Tell? And yeah, I didn't think that was like, you know, a thing that was like a generational thing. It's been around for like a long
Right.
time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Centuries, maybe?
Yeah, Gen Z doesn't need William Tell.
Yeah.
Um,
Millennial,
yeah,
elder
they don't fuck
millennials
and they don't
do.
know about William Tell.
They don't fuck. They
There's
don't
a
fuck. They
trope.
don't answer phones, and
Yeah,
they don't know who William Tell is.
I just
it's
Googled
funny.
William Tell.
Yeah,
It's the
he.
guy who shoots an apple?
Are you Gen Z, Emily? I'm sorry to like make fun of
No,
your
Emily, are
age.
you?
I
No.
identify as a millennial, but I'm like on the cusp. I'm
Right.
96.
Yeah.
Emily Kapp is a very she's like I don't know if it's an insult to say you're an old soul because we get
Oh.
along so well and I'm the eldest on the team. My number happens to be in the 40s, but no, I like it, right, Emily Flake, right? It's cool.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
It's
good.
very
It's
cool.
great. It's cool. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I have
Emily,
to
you're
be
in your
cool with being in my
40s.
40s because I'm
Yeah.
leaving them next year. So,
There you go.
Well, yeah,
um,
I actually hear that's a good decade too. So
yeah,
here's
sure.
to another great 10 years. So I'm going to talk about
Yeah.
St. Nell's because I want to know, I actually don't know this. I am a graduate of St. Nell's, and I do want to say that St. Nell's is the community is amazing, but I do not know what its origins are. So if you would like to tell us, I would love to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So St. Nell's, it's located in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, which is like right in the middle of the state. And it came about basically my family and I started going out there like for like long weekends during like the first like pandemic summer
Oh yeah.
because obviously all of our summer plans, shat the bed. So we started we just wanted to get out of town for like, like a long weekend and
Yeah.
everything upstate or in New England was either like booked solid, incredibly expensive or closed.
Oh
So
yeah.
my husband was like, I'm gonna start checking places in PA. And this ad for the Genetti Hotel popped up and he was like, have you ever heard of Williamsport? I'm like, nope.
I have to show
And
my sticker.
yeah, the
Yes,
There she
Genetti.
represent.
is. There she
Um,
is.
the Genetti has
Okay.
become like one of my favorite places in the world. It is just a like batshit crazy old hotel, and I
It's
love it.
batshit crazy and it's haunted. And you
Absolutely
guys,
haunted.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no.
I have not seen a ghost, but we have heard of the ghosts, and I
yeah.
think they're friendly. I think they're
Wait,
not
wait,
here to
wait.
hurt. So sorry,
At the
you
hotel
digress.
or at the
Yeah.
house?
Well,
At the hotel. I
the
haven't seen any
hotel.
ghosts at
Yeah,
the
you've been
house.
there a lot, so
Yeah,
I would assume. But the rumor is also there's ghosts at the house, right? In the
I
attic.
mean, there could be. I don't know. The house is
Yeah,
120 years old. It would be weird if it
yeah,
didn't have at least one
Yeah,
ghost.
I guess.
yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but so like we dropped the little Google man and like street viewed Williamsport, and I was like, this is cute as fuck.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
So we went out there. The Genetti was charging $67 a night because nobody was
Oh my
going to
God.
hotels,
Sure.
and we had, we really liked it. We went back a few times. As you do, I would walk around the town and I would like look. I'm like, what's a house cost here? And I looked and I was like, oh, fuck my face. Um, and I just got obsessed with finding a way to like do something with this town. And my husband was like, you've always said, if we could afford a place upstate, you'd want to like run a writing residency.
Mhm.
And he's like, I hate to be the voice of reason, but we don't have the money to buy even a cheap
Right.
house if we're not going to live in it.
Yeah.
So, why don't you try to raise some money? So I did a Kickstarter and I raised 50 grand, which
Oh
let
yeah.
us put down the down payment and kind of cover the nut for a little while. And then I started a Patreon, and we also partner with a place called Fractured Atlas, which is like, because we're not a not-for-profit, we're an LLC. And Fractured Atlas
Yeah.
is a fiscal sponsor, so they allow people to donate to you as though you were a not-for-profit.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, and we were also very careful to like to get a place where like if we had to float it ourselves for some amount of time, like it wouldn't be great, but it wouldn't ruin us.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but knock wood, like it's being kept afloat basically by the largesse of people with money. Yeah, but yeah, and and obviously any kind of, even if it's a not for profit, like any kind of thing like this involves fundraising, which
Mm.
is, I mean, there's a steep learning curve there, and I
Yeah.
am trying to, get better at like at the ins and outs of that situation. And I do have some friends who like run actual not-for-profits, and I have leaned on their expertise in terms of like, the right way to do that. Um, so yeah, that's the story of Nels in a nutshell.
Ah,
So,
yeah.
like, how did you get it off the ground? Like, actually, like, how did it actually come to be?
So once we had the Kickstarter, like basically once that was successful, I mean, really, it was like, all right, let's go find a house.
Yeah.
And we went out. We had this real estate agent named Chad, who was adorable.
Shout out,
Um,
Chad.
Chad,
Shout out, Chad.
shout out Chad. Yeah, Chad's the best. Chad Saylor in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll find him, put him up here.
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll post them.
Yeah.
Um, and he showed us a bunch of places, and then like as we were leaving one kind of kitty corner, there was a house that just had like a homemade for sale sign.
Mm.
And I like slowed down and took a picture, and then he called me later. He's like, "Hey, I noticed that you saw that house." And he's like, "Just so you know, like it's not my listing, but like I can, even if she's just selling it without it being listed, I can help you through that process." I'm like,
Mm.
"Yes, please," because I've never bought a home and I do not know how.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went and looked at it, and like of all the places we saw, this was where I walked in. I'm like, oh, this is the vibe. Like
Yeah.
this feels like it wants to be what I want it to be.
Yeah.
And so we closed on it in December 2020.
Mm.
And they they had just put down wall-to-wall carpet on the entire first floor.
Oh,
I
no way.
And
know.
Oh no.
I didn't know they had just put it down, but I was like, is there any way there could like not be carpet?
On
This
top
carpet is
of those floors?
on
I
top of
cannot
Wait,
those
what
believe
kind
on
of
top
carpet was it?
on
Oh
it was gray,
No.
basic
Gray.
ass. It
Oh,
wasn't Berber
No.
carpet, but it was like, and I personally I hate wall-to-wall carpet.
Yeah.
And I
Sure.
was like, is there any way that could like not exist?
Yeah.
And they were like, we just put that down, but we'll take it up.
Sorry. What
So
you guys have to know, these floors
they're
are gorgeous.
they're gorgeous. And I
Yes.
will say, I'll send you a picture of what they looked like when they took
Yeah.
up the carpet
Oh
because
God.
like
Oh.
they were chewed to shit.
Oh.
Um,
Oh. I bet.
and I found a local guy who like like sanded them and like redid them beautifully. There was also
Yeah.
wall-to-wall carpet upstairs that like
Yeah.
I took some of that up myself. Like I cut this, we kind of did piecemeal, sort of like as we could afford it. So like
Yeah.
I took it out of like one room in the hallway, and then my floor guy came and did those, and then eventually I was like, hey, I'd like to do the rest of the rooms. I'll come and like take up the carpet and get it ready. And he's like, Emily, that will take you a week. It'll take me and my guys like an hour. Like I will move the furniture, I'll take up the carpet, I'll do the floors. Like, don't worry about it. I'm like, I love you. Um, so yeah, and yeah, the floors are stunning. They're like,
Yeah.
as my floor guy told me, it's antique heart pine, because
Mhm.
pine, as we know it now, is a softwood. Antique pine, old heart pine is a hardwood.
Oh,
And
no way.
he
Oh,
like gestured out the window. He's like, this wood was harvested from those hills and floated down the river and milled in town and used to build your house. I'm like,
they
that's
covered it with great
yeah.
carpet. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
And I mean, I genuinely like the people that we bought the house from. They own a bunch of
Yeah.
properties around town and they do like
Mhm.
property management. Like, I've like asked them like if they would like haul like trash away for me and they've done it. Like they're very,
Mhm.
very, very sweet. But yeah, I mean, like some people just like carpet and some people do not. And I do not like carpet.
I
To
would
be
think
totally
most
for
people don't. I mean, I just feel like no, but
Yeah. Mm.
to each his own, I guess.
I
Because
didn't
it is
realize
technically
that.
subflooring. It's like, like people put stuff on top of it,
I see. It
but
doesn't
it's not
look like that way.
subflooring. It's not
Yeah.
subflooring in the sense that I think of subflooring, which is just like, big slabs
Plywood.
of plywood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. I want to talk about there's one thing you said that resonated with me. It's like figuring shit out as it's handed to you because I feel like
Mm.
with crowdfunding, I want to learn how to do that. I don't know for what, but like this right here, this podcast, I had to figure out kind of just like just do it. But yeah, is there something about that like getting to know something because you just have to do it?
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. I mean, everything from like, doing the crowdfund, which I have a friend who works for Kickstarter and she was incredibly
Oh,
helpful
oh wow.
through that process. And again, like fundraising, um, just the the application process, like running it, like making sure everybody is like settled and has a good time.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's definitely a plane I am 100% like building as I fly it.
Yeah,
So yeah, it is like a constant like learning process.
I would think
And
so. A lot of
yeah.
stuff to deal with.
hmm
Yeah.
and I
The
would love to
house,
say
the
that I've
application.
become a
Yeah.
better homeowner,
Yeah.
but like I still do not know how to do jack shit. Like I'm still like,
That's another thing. I've owned some homes. I do not like it. It's not for me. But because I don't currently own. But same thing. You do learn how to do stuff because you have a home and
hmm
I like used to know how to tile. I'm like, I don't want to do that
Okay,
anymore.
crafty.
I know.
yeah.
Okay.
I tiled the whole damn shower. It was like subway
Wow.
tile, so it was easy. Well, not easy, but it was like I was like, oh, this is cheaper than hiring somebody, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
whatever.
I was just saying, I
Uh
feel like that's the best way. What both of you have been talking about, how like at least
Mhm,
that's how my brain works. Like
mhm,
I will do something when I'm in it, like because I feel like
hmm
that forces you to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes before you start a project, it's kind of like, but like if you're like actively, going through the process of doing something, like it forces it, you have to do it. There's
mhm.
like no choice. And I,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's good to an extent. I think that's a good thing, like to learn something new. I think that's
yeah,
nice for us.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And
No, because
then
you're more likely to really drill down on learning something if you actually have to
yes,
know it, Like I always
yes,
been like, it would be cool to know how to play the piano, but I am unlikely to be in a scenario where it is
yes.
urgent and
Like
necessary
yeah.
that yeah.
Play the
Uh
piano or else.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Let's hope I'm
I know.
never in that position.
But I
Mm.
was about to say earlier, I don't think I realized that this was a pandemic project,
Yeah.
and I like in my mind, I thought it was much older just because it has such a great reputation, and so it seems like so many people have gone through and done a cohort there, and like have had so much good things to say. So I think like having when was the first group of people that went within
So
the
I
last five
ran
years?
I ran a couple like sort of trial runs like
Yeah.
over the summer after we bought it and kind of like got it into shape. But the first official cohort was September of 2021.
Oh,
And
yeah.
since then, we've had, I think, upwards of 160
Mhm.
That's a lot.
people
Wow.
come through. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I honestly like I wish it was more like the main thing that I don't like about it is that like is having to say no.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we get applications, I have to choose, and it is always like, oh, maybe I can carve another cohort out of this, like make it a little bit, like
Yeah.
I again, knock wood, for the most part, it seems like, it's working as intended. People are going there, they're
Mhm.
getting work done,
Yeah.
like for the most part, the cohorts have gotten along.
Mhm.
People seem to like the town, which is awesome because I
The town
love,
is so great. I
I,
didn't know I mean I knew about the Spaceball for some reason, the World
mhm,
Series, the Kid World
the
Series,
Little League, yeah.
but
Um,
I had never been there, and it's much bigger than I would have ever thought. The
Yeah.
town.
Yeah, it's like a tiny little city. And
Yeah.
I really, really like, I love that town.
Mhm.
We've made a bunch of friends there. There's like
Yeah.
a very welcoming, like community in general. There's a great arts community.
Mhm.
Like there's good restaurants, there's a great
Yeah.
bookstore. There's like, it really it has a lot to recommend it. And like,
Yeah.
obviously like no place is perfect. I don't want to be like, it's heaven, because like no
Yeah.
place is.
Right.
But it is a really, really like lovely place.
It
And I
is.
feel
I
very
agree.
lucky that like, people have been like very, very cool about what I'm doing and like interested in it, and have been like really like nice to me through this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I like it.
Do people in the town like, do they know that
They know
St. Nell's is
Emily.
a thing and like, that
Yeah.
it's the
Mhm.
home base of?
Yeah, there's so there are there's like Coming Arts, which is a foundation there, that like, and they've been like very cool and very supportive. And like I'm like, like local merchants, they're like, oh, some of your people came in,
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
and yeah, I mean, so it is, it's definitely like, you know I want to integrate Nels into the town and the community as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because, and again, like, they've been very, very like great. Even the mayor is fucking awesome. They've got a
Oh
great
yeah, the
mayor.
mayor came to the reunion. I
Yeah,
didn't know until the second day. I didn't know that was him.
That's
yeah,
cute.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Um,
is. Oh, I've heard he's cool.
he is. He's a cool
Yeah.
guy.
There's one restaurant we go to that we love on the first nights. Yeah.
Oh,
Franco's.
Shout out
Yeah.
Franco's.
Oh,
But yeah, like Franco, like Fred, who runs Franco's, is one of my
Fred.
favorite people
I
like
love
on
Fred.
the entire face of the planet.
Fred is
Like
good as great people.
he is like
Yeah.
a true mensch. Like
Yeah.
just yeah.
Fred.
Yeah, we come like, for the reunion, it's like we kind of like show up en masse, but like because like Williamsport hosts the Little League World Series, they're kind of, they're used to sort of there being like a wave
Oh,
of,
right. Right. Yeah.
like
oh,
for a town its size, it actually has like a lot of hotel space, for that very
Hmm.
reason. And
yeah.
so like,
Hmm.
it's not like, it's not like, oh shit, a plague of locusts. Uh, and yeah, no, I feel like very few times we're like, oh God, people are here patronizing our
Yeah.
businesses. Yeah.
How dare they?
so we were also wondering, like, what do you see for the future of St. Nell's, or like, what's next?
Yeah. So, the rough timeline is, my daughter is just about to go into high school, and
Wow.
yeah, I know
I can't believe it.
it's crazy. And when she graduates, I mean, basically the plan is to relocate out there, and or like
Um,
spend more time out there.
yeah.
What I would like to do is get a bigger house, like bigger
Mhm.
cohorts, and be able to be like out there, like, more hands-on, like, really like,
Mhm.
I have this little fantasy of just being like dirtbag Yato, where it's like, I cook for everybody, and like, um
Emily's a really good
That's
cook,
fun.
guys. Know that. Everybody should know that. It's delicious. Okay. I just scream into my mic for that.
You're right. Um, but and yeah, and be able to do like in-person programming, like host like like long weekend like directed retreats, um and at that point like spin off from the fiscal sponsor and become like an actual not-for-profit.
Mm.
Like that is the, and I mean, like I always hesitate to be like that's the plan because I feel like God laughs. um but yeah, that's I would like to like expand it into like a more into a bigger thing with more programming. um and what, depending on what everything really looks like in 4 years, in a perfect world my daughter would stay in New York and she would get her own little apartment with like a Murphy bed, so like my husband and I could like like
Yeah.
go back and forth.
Yeah.
Also, in a perfect world, we would have like bought a fucking apartment 20 years ago, but we didn't. So
No.
we are at the mercy of the rental market.
Yeah.
But but yeah, it's that and also, this is pending us still having, a country, I guess. So
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. God willing.
yeah,
We can be sure.
yeah, we'll see. But yeah,
I
that's the scenario that I would like for the future.
it does help that you're a good leader of this community because if you were a shit, then it wouldn't be like this. Well, it's become and what it is and what we do and what we like when we get together, we know we're not going to be like it's whoever's in charge is not a shit. So that's
Right.
great. We like that.
It
So thank you
wouldn't be
for
that
not,
big of a thing if
thank you for being great.
leader
Just
was a
want to
shit.
say.
I mean, well, thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
that is very kind of you to say, and I genuinely appreciate that. But like, I honestly do think that like, again, it's like I, I unlocked the door, but it's everybody that came through it that
Yeah.
like makes this community what it is.
I love
It
that
is true
quote.
that there's not a lemon among I mean, I feel like it's
Mhm.
just everybody's so great and I know that we're all brought together by this cool thing and we're
Mhm.
all like in this like great mood, but I feel like people are just cool and
Yeah.
you do a good job picking them.
And like genuinely supportive, like
Mhm.
genuinely like engaged, like I mean it really is like I am just over the moon about how like people come together.
Mm.
Because really like one of the great joys of running this thing is like seeing how many like collaborations have come out of it, how many
Yeah, yeah,
friendships have formed.
yeah.
It is a joy.
It
um
is, yeah. That is
yeah.
cool. I agree. The
um
collabs are cool to see come through the Belladonna. Even when I see that, I'm like, oh, say I think this originated at St. Nell's or like on a road trip
Well,
to St. Nell's.
And even me, like, so, like, my most productive group chat is like because of St. Nell's, like,
Oh, that's
uh,
amazing.
so yeah, really, like, I don't know. I feel like making t-shirts, like, just to say, I am here to make friends.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. We're a cult, but we're cool, so it's
yeah,
fine.
we're a cool cult.
So
CC, cool cult.
CT,
Mm,
yeah, we'll make t-shirts that say that. Don't worry about
yeah,
Don't worry about
it. Don't worry about the cult aspect. It's cool. It's fun. It's
yeah,
supportive. So.
yeah. And I should say something about who St. Nell is named after,
it.
which
Yeah.
is Nell Gwynn, who was like this like comedic like body actress in Restoration England, like in the late 1500s, early 1600s. Like she was just like
Oh,
this
I didn't know
like
that.
like funny good time girl, who like slept with everybody and was a mistress to the king, and was just generally awesome. So like
Oh
yeah,
no,
she's the guiding light of St. Nell's.
That's
I don't think I
awesome.
knew that. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
We would love to hear about what the process is like for what was selling your first book and
Mhm.
just that entire book selling, writing, process.
Yeah. So the first book that I sold, which is different. So the first books that ever like came out were like collected volumes of Lulu 8 Ball, which was like a very
Hmm.
different thing
Mm.
than the first book that like I pitched and sold.
Mm.
The first that was These Things Ain't Gonna Smoke Themselves, which was like an illustrated essay about smoking. Um,
Oh,
and
amazing.
That was,
Great title.
thank you.
Yeah.
That came out in 2007. And I had an agent that I met through friends of friends. And it was, it was basically like how those things usually go. Like, I made a proposal, she took it
Mm.
out and she sold it. Um, and yeah, I mean, that was my first experience of like, like that level of like, proposal, pitch, sell
Yeah.
process. Um, and she's not the agent I'm with now. The agent I'm with now is Meg Thompson, who is a fucking queen. I
Oh,
love her.
Shout out
shout
Meg.
out Meg. Shout out
Shout
Meg
out Meg.
Thompson.
Yeah.
Chad, Meg, everybody.
Yeah.
Terry.
Chad, Terry.
Yeah.
Terry.
Yeah, Meg has sold all my subsequent books, and she is
That's
like
awesome.
she
Wow.
is fantastic. I adore her. And she actually Anika Orok, who I know through Nell's, and I just sold we're doing an illustrated biography of Nell Gwynn, so it all kind of
Oh,
comes full
wow.
circle.
Oh, wow.
Um,
That's
but
so cool.
yeah, so basically, like um the whole thing of like getting an agent and this like was sort of like really dawned on me like, oh, like part of the step is finding the person who does know how to open this door, like
Yeah, yeah.
especially when I was like first starting out. I just thought like I just hope people find me, and it's like, well, that's not how that works. um so yeah, I think I would love in a future like Nell's reunion to have like, like an agent meet and greet kind of thing, or an agent
Mm,
panel or something
So
where
cool.
people could like avail themselves of like just getting to know an agent or somebody who can like give them advice in that way, et cetera, et
that'd
cetera.
be
Like,
cool. Yeah.
I would like, and one of the things that I like, again, a perfect scenario would love to be able to do through Nels is like, like a robust sort of like professional, like, you know, um, warehouse of help. Yeah.
Mhm, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like there's a more elegant way to say that, but
I know what
you
you're
know what I'm trying
saying.
to say.
Like, yeah, have an expert for whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. A platform,
hmm
if you will. This in this portion of the podcast, we talk about our favorite pieces of
Mhm.
from the belladonna of the since the last time we met in our
Yep.
podcast. And what I chose is Architectural Digest Celebrity Open Door, hosted by my 4-year-old by Emily Ray.
Woo.
And this was just published, and I really,
Mhm.
really, I don't, okay. Let me preface this by saying I don't have kids. So when I see kid
None
pieces
of us do.
come in,
No.
sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't get this. But for some reason, this really got me because I've seen some AD videos. That's Architectural Digest, if you don't know. And everybody kind of acts the same. We get it. Your house is gorgeous. You have all the best furniture and pieces and whatever. Designers have done their work to your home. That's cool. Having said that, I want to live in every space I see. But this piece was so funny because I think 4-year-olds seem insane, and the insane, the crazy language that and like attitude and vibe that this contributor used. I think that's her actual kid in the photo. It's blocked, her face is blocked, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um and I think this is like drawn from real life, this sort of
For sure. Yeah.
attitude of, yeah, this. So it's written in the what I'm guessing is kind of like a script of AD, but from a four-year-old's perspective, which is just like random ass crazy shit. And I really like the language of what you wrote. And it was, I think my favorite line is, I think I pulled it for social media, and it was just like, I can't find it. But it was always like, don't look directly at her. She's in a mood.
Yeah.
I thought that was so funny. Oh, is she feeling shy today? Yes. Don't look at her. So, it's like I'm like, I was already sold from that. So, great job. Another Emily. wrote
Yeah, so
this.
obviously she's hysterical. And I believe,
Obviously.
correct me if I'm wrong, I think she might be a first-time writer to the
I
Belladonna.
think you're right. I'm
I
gonna click
think
on her
she was
name right now.
added first
Yep,
time.
that's her only piece. So
There
yeah,
you go.
there we
Well,
go. Good job,
welcome.
Emily. Welcome. We
Welcome.
oh, my
I
Welcome to
ghost is
like,
the
on for
Emily
me.
crew. I'm not
yeah,
a member
welcome
yet.
on. Welcome aboard.
So
But
good
I
job,
really like this
Emily.
piece because I think
I
she
hit my
nailed the
dog's
like
head.
cadence of Architectural Digest.
Yeah.
But like did a great job of balancing it with like the kid um element of the piece and
Yeah,
details. Like it was blended, like the kind of the pretentiousness and the
right.
kid very greatly done kid details are blended in a really balanced and funny way.
Yes,
So that was
agreed.
my fave bit of
I
that.
totally agree, and I'm not a reader of Architectural
Mhm.
Digest,
Yeah,
but
I'm just a video watcher, right?
but
Same.
yeah, I think I gathered the voice from it, and I thought it was
Yeah,
like a really good balance
yeah, agree.
of that like formal tone and then the kid. Yeah, and I also really like the line. I was like, "Don't look at her,"
Yeah,
and
and
clearly,
also
as you
yeah,
heard, Herc agrees.
don't look at her. And also she ends with the kid saying, "I have to poop," which is
Yeah.
Silly.
I've worked with my fair share of kids and not much young ones, but like I have, and that is something they'll say. Sidebar, the non-shame of a young child is inspiring. So I love that. I wish none of us grew out of that and did not
That would be
develop
great.
shame. That'd be great.
That would be great.
Yeah.
My favorite piece from this past month, or since we last did the podcast, was the sign-offs at your monthly team meeting by the fantastic Victoria Shulovich. And we all know I'm a Victoria fan. Victoria's
Yes.
been on the pod. She's great. If
Shout
you
out
haven't,
Victoria.
shout out Victoria. If you haven't seen the episode, go listen to it
Yeah.
because she was also really, really great to talk to and had like
Yes.
so many interesting like ideas, like process wise. And I don't know.
Yep.
I remember walking away from filming that one and being like my eyes were like, wow, like
We
I'm
were
so
glowing.
like in like invigorated. But anyway, Victoria had a recent one with us. And it was a short and sweet one, which is so
Mhm.
fun. And
Mhm.
I've probably said this before about, you know, pieces that I tend to gravitate towards, but to me this is such like a very niche
Mhm.
thing. And it's
Agreed.
so subtle, which can be hard to do. Like everyone, essentially it's all these different people signing off from a
Mhm.
Zoom Teams meeting, like, thanks, thank you all, thanks so much, like in a
So
slightly different
accurate.
way. And
Yes.
then there's a little curveball at the end where it's always
Yes.
that one guy or girl or whoever who just like, wants to chit chat and add lots of details when everyone just wants to leave.
Yes.
I don't know. I just thought it was a really unique premise, but also very
Mhm.
short and snappy. Um, I don't know, and something I haven't seen before, which was fun, and
Yeah.
something that I think a lot of if you work computer desk job or remotely, this does hit. So,
Yeah. And
Victoria.
Gus, I love how Gus goes off the damn rails.
Oh
And like,
yeah.
oh, I love that. And it's like a monologue of crazy ass Gus. And I
Oh
love
yeah.
to see that.
No,
I
and
love when
I
someone
think
goes off the rails. I love when they just go crazy. I love
Hmm.
that. Go ahead.
I think yeah, email culture is so fun to
Yeah.
dissect, and I
Mhm.
think this is yeah one of those where it's just like no, I love to write about email culture, and like I
Yeah.
think this is just like such a fun take on it
Mhm.
It really is.
because yeah,
And
there's just
Yeah.
that one person who's always like totally like inept at writing an email.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
earned too, because there's so many different rendition of thanks so much, have a good day, thanks.
Thanks,
Like, and
y'all.
like, it kind of
It's so
pushes the
true.
limit of how much
Yeah.
repetition before like the bomb is dropped. And it's just
Yes.
well balanced and earned without like it taking too long. Like it takes just so
Yeah.
long enough to like kind of get to that part where it's satisfying, you know?
I agree. And it's just so true. Like
Yeah.
the whole everybody
Oh,
thanking, not everybody, but like there's so many people who thank. Like if especially if it's a big meeting, it's
yeah.
so many people. I'm like, I'm already gone, guys.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
I've
Bye.
left. But people will say thank you, and I just that juxtaposition of that plus Gus's rant.
Yeah.
Perfect.
My favorite is I'm your dog, and this coddling stops now by Tesha Phillips. And okay, as like you guys know, my dog Hercules is a perfect baby angel sent from heaven
Laura
above.
loves her dog.
He's
Case
great.
in point.
Yes, and Katie also has a baby angel.
She's being cute right now. Sorry to derail.
Um, but this is just like a solid reminder that our dogs are judging us.
For
Which
sure.
I respect. Like every time like I take out the wine bottle, my dog is like side eye.
Wow.
Yeah,
Again.
You're a
there's a lot
mess.
going on. But one of the things I really love about this is it like doesn't it's not like the common like baby dog voice that I
Oh
sometimes
no, it's a totally
writing.
different direction, which like makes it like almost alarming in a good way. Like not
Yeah. No,
unexpected.
this dog is like your like mom on crack. And
It's a
this
fun
dog is
voice.
like, no, get your shit together, motherfucker. And I really respect that because I think that's like important for all of us adults to remember that
They're
our dogs are
watching.
not babies, they're like adults as well.
Yeah, they're smart, intelligent beings that are
Yeah,
watching your every
and I
move.
just like love that judgmental voice and this dog has like their shit together in like more than I do and more than my dog does, frankly.
Well, did you have Hercules read it and be like, maybe step up?
I did read it out loud to him, and
Oh,
I'm kidding. I totally didn't. He's asleep now,
well,
but
he needs to sit down and listen.
yeah, he needs to sit down and listen because he needs to judge me more like this
Yeah.
than because he's more just like in his own world. And
Oh, well.
Good on them for
yeah,
being in their own
he's the
world.
coddles one.
Yeah, they don't know, except for this dog and this piece.
Yeah,
But
this dog has their shit together.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I shit on the earth. That's an exact quote from this piece.
I loved bitch ass squirrel is very funny. I love that
It's
the
amazing.
owner's name is Kyle.
Yeah.
Lends itself to hilarity already.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was good voice.
Way to go, Tesha.
Way to go,
Yeah,
Tasha.
and I think it's just like it's because like I have a lot of monologue or like speeches that I deliver to Herc. But I'm sure he has some that he has to give to me, and they're probably along these lines. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that reminder.
What a
This
productive
this ship.
meeting.
It was. I thought. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my
Seriously, it was
gosh.
great
Thanks
meeting
so
you.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great meeting both of you and good to see you,
Good
Katie.
to see you, Emily.
Oh,
Yay.
Awesome. All
Thank
right.
you
Well,
so much.
yeah,
Be
thank you.
great.
All right. Have a good rest of your night.
Have a good
You
night,
too.
Emily
Thank you,
Flake. See
Emily
ya.
Flake.
Thanks again.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. And that is our episode. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, with myself, Katie, Laura, and our fantastic, fantastic guest today, Emily Flake, who
Fantastic.
is a satirist, cartoonist, writer, author of several amazing books, and the proprietress, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Of St. Nell's Residency.
Yeah.
Please check out all her stuff. She is really cool, and I'm sure if you listened, you learned a lot, just like I did.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you all to our listeners who tune in every
Every
month,
month.
every month, and have a good one, everybody. I love you. Thanks for tuning into the Editrix.
We love
Bye.
you. Bye.